telling Brother Mark about the last trip that I made, and we were in southern Mexico in the mountains, and we were about probably 700 miles south of the border, somewhere around there. We were a long way from home, and we were stopped at a military roadblock because the president of Mexico at that time, this has been years ago, was feared of a revolution by the guerrillas. And so we were stopped, and they got us out of the van and out of the truck that we were in. Everything we had in the van and in the truck, we had box loads of contraband. Because contraband in Mexico is Spanish New Testaments and Spanish Bibles and Spanish tracts and Spanish songbooks. Everything we had was illegal to have in Mexico at that time. So armed soldiers got us out and lined us up down the side of the road, and there was a soldier for every one of us preachers. As we stood beside the road, they stood in front of us, looking us in the eye with an automatic weapon about 2 inches away from our belly. I can tell you that God's grace is real.
Amen.
I wasn't standing there shaking in my boots. I wasn't afraid that I was going to die on the side of the road. Wasn't worried about what was going to happen to Mom and my children. I had that peace of God that passeth all understanding, and God's grace just overwhelmed my soul.
Yeah.
And I knew everything was going to be okay. I told Brother Mark that, they, especially Americans at that time, they wanted to know everything that they had because they thought that it was the CIA that was smuggling in ammunition and arms for the guerrillas. And so they wanted to know everything that we had in those boxes in the van. And Brother Grimmett and Brother McLean, Brother Billy McLean, standing there talking to the soldier in charge. And they was honest. They told him, they said, we've got illegal contraband. It's not munitions. We're not here for the guerrillas. We're here for sinners. Everything we've got in there is illegal. There are boxes full of tracts and boxes full of Spanish songbooks and boxes full of Spanish New Testaments that we're taking to these churches and these missionaries and these pastors. And given the opportunity, we're going to hand out all the tracts that we can while we're down here. And they checked the boxes, 3 boxes in the van and 3 boxes in the truck, and they could have dumped them all out on the ground, and we could have still been in a federal prison today. Or they could have shot us on the roadside. But that soldier in charge looked at Brother Grimmett and Brother McLean and said, y'all go on and do good work.
Amen.
Amen.
I won't know exactly what kind of a good work that week's trip was until I get there. But then I'll know.
Yeah.
Then I'll know. And I can tell you that God's grace is sufficient for any situation and circumstance that ever arises in your life.
Yeah.
And I guess that instant in my life really changed things. I mean, nobody here has ever been in that position. I'm sure you've never been standing on the side of the road in another country 700 miles south of the border carrying illegal contraband and had an armed soldier with an automatic weapon 2 inches from your belly button. And you never experienced the grace that God gives in that situation that I had. And Brother Jim, that changed my life. And I guess that's one reason why a lot of things have just never bothered me, and I've never worried and fretted over a lot of things, because I realized if God could take care of me standing there beside the road when all that fella had to do was pull the trigger, And there's nothing that the U.S. consulate could have done about it. Everything we had was illegal. We weren't there on a work visa. I'm just telling you tonight, God's good.
Amen.
And I so appreciate the goodness of the Lord, and I'm so thankful. Probably do some of you good to go to a mission field for a week sometime and see what's going on in other places. Some of you act like God's dead,
Yeah.
honestly, but He's not. He's very much alive, and He's not having to take a half of a baby aspirin tonight over the condition that the universe is in.
Yeah.
He's in control.
Amen.
He's never been out of control.
That's right.
And the only reason why things are spiraling out of control is because He's allowed it to be so.
Yeah.
God certainly is good.
Amen.